good, y'all? Listen, look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not EGREGIOUS? Get your fucking
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion. And destruction, they must dislike and hate with a passion.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl ZZ back with another video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, share this joint, all that. And baby, we back again. Okay. As y'all can see, new background. I don't know if y'all caught my last live, but you know, new place, same me. We just grown. We better. Okay. Anyways, today we have some videos to react to. We're gonna jump right into it. We ain't gonna waste no time, baby. Let's do this.
When was Thomas Crooks first identified as a person of interest? Let me help you. At 5'10", he was spotted with a rangefinder at 5:51. And when did Secret Service notice him?
Again, I don't have those specific timelines, but it was a relatively short period of time.
Let me help you. 5:52. Ms. Cheadle, why was President Trump allowed on stage 10 minutes after the Secret Service spotted a suspicious individual? That seems to me to be the worst thing of all. Of all the breakdown in all this communication, all the BS you've been feeding us here today or not feeding us, that seems to be the question.
So as I've stated before, there are a number of events where suspicious people may be identified. That doesn't necessarily...
Ma'am, I submit to you, you got a guy who's going to be the next president of the United States. He's on stage. I've been to these events. We've all been to these events. A car backfires, and there's a 15-minute dadgum wait. That's not acceptable. Did the Secret Service tell President Trump they'd spotted a suspicious individual before he was shot?
I am unclear as to what the communication was with the former president at that time.
I'll take that as a no.
Okay. I'm not gonna show too much of that, but that's actually a video I screen recorded personally on my phone because this happened like 2 weeks ago, and I had literally screen popping my timeline. I screen recorded as I was watching it because they was going in on this lady, outrageous, everything between. Okay. Now she was like I believe she's like the head of the CIA organization who was in charge of Trump's security that day he was actually shot at. Okay. Or somebody attempted assassination, quote unquote. Now here's the thing, I'm not going to say too much on this. I will say the fact that this is so blatant, he can ask a question like, if y'all knew that there was somebody suspicious in the crowd, why in the hell would you let he didn't even say possible, he said he's going to be the president of the United States. Peep that, just like but why would you allow this presidential nominee to get up on stage, and if you realize that there was somebody suspicious in the crowd, and basically she's kind of explaining, there's always suspicious, even though there's somebody suspicious doesn't mean we're just not going to bring him on stage. And he's like, bruh, if a car backfires, means if a car makes too much noise and it sounds like a gunshot or something threatening, they're not going to allow him on stage. You telling me if you seen an individual who looks suspicious and you still didn't even inform she's not even sure if they informed the president of the suspicious activity they seen of the individual, but yet alone you let him get on stage 10 minutes later and hadn't identified the suspect, hadn't went over there and tried to, to make sure that he wasn't doing anything suspicious, had eyes on him, anything of that nature. None of that happened, but y'all knew that it was somebody suspicious in the crowd. It doesn't make sense. America is a political fucking theater. I mean, for real, I'm just saying, if you can believe what you want to believe, but all I'm saying is shit like this don't happen on accident. These people are very calculated. These people are very, very calculated. And no, I'm not about to sit up here and believe that they really let the president of the United States go up on stage and they knew this man was sitting back here with no, I'm sorry. Believe what you want to believe, but that right there told me enough. And they're trying to pin it on this lady like, oh, this was just a mishandling of power or, a neglect, type thing. But it's not. This is the fucking, he was literally the president of the, do you really want me to believe that this lady really slipped up like that? I mean, it's possible, I guess. But do you really want me to believe? Do you really expect, hey, look, leave your thoughts in the comments below. To me, it just sounds hella suspicious. Hella suspicious to me.
Talking. And where the tree at to hang people at? Where is that? Where is the hanging tree at?
In your backyard.
Gentlemen, can I please?
No. He just said there's a hanging tree down there to hang people like me. That's racist.
That is.
That is racist. Y'all go take his back and he's being racist?
Right, motherfucker.
He's a crying motherfucker.
You know what?
That is fucking horrible of you.
He's just as human as
I'm doing a job, and I did not disrespect you, not once.
Oh, man. Come on. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what? Fuck you, and I'm not leaving. Make me leave, motherfucker, because I can't take it.
I don't make trash. I burn it. That's 5th grade.
And y'all laughing at this? And y'all laughing at this? This is what y'all like?
Now, here's my thing. Of course they're wrong. Of course they're wrong. But, brother, and I put this on Twitter. I tweeted this out. That's how I seen this original video. Emotionality never solves the issue. Okay? You cannot approach white supremacy with emotionality. It's not going to work. You will always be defeated, as he was in this case. He was dealing with not only one white supremacist, but multiple suspected white supremacists who was backing him and was clearly on code. Brother, you are not winning this situation, especially pulling out a camera and getting emotional, crying about what this racist white man has said to you. Brother, I feel for you. I understand that he's even justified in being emotional, because that's not something easy to deal with, all right? Especially with so many Negroes nowadays thinking that racism is over, that, we're in a new day and age. And so a lot of Negroes will get surprised when they see this blatant, overt side of white supremacy, because we live such in a coverted side, codified realm of white supremacy in this new age. And so when you get Negroes who are not used to that, who see things like this, there's an automatic trigger response. Shit, that's the ancestors coming down. There's a lot of trauma there within our lineage. And so it's understandable, but we have to be clear, on how to deal with things like this. Pulling out your phone, want to record, okay, cool. Get him to repeat what he said, okay, cool. Because stuff like this, and I will say, can result in, you've had people get fired from their jobs, people get reprimanded and have real consequences because they go viral like this, thinking that, it's just a video, it's not going to mean nothing. And then they end up getting fired. Okay, and then they end up, something happens. So I don't have a problem with him recording the interaction. But the interaction, this video is 5 minutes long, baby. The interaction should not include you trying to plead to their humanity, like, oh, you're not going to back him. This is wrong. Do you hear what he said? They heard what he said, brother. They on code. They really don't give a damn. One of the white dudes out there had on a whole ass MAGA hat. That should have told you enough right there where you was at. Then you being the only brother out there, you got to move on your P's and Q's. That's just a very dangerous situation to have yourself in, and to be emotionally triggered within. You're risking a lot more than what you realize. And the fact that they're laughing, some people might take that lightly. Some people might just take that as them being, a-holes, or, being inconsiderate, or not being nonchalant, being on code, also being anti-Black racist and not really just caring. But you have to be careful with that. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I remember him talking about, I feel like he put it in his book, if I'm not mistaken, but I know he said it a few times on the show. But saying how basically white supremacy involves jokes. A lot of their serious anti-Black tactics, they start off as just a joke. Look at Jim Crow. All right. So we have to be careful when you're in the face of white supremacists and they're laughing, because right behind that laugh is a very serious threat. Please believe they laughing like, oh, he think he doing something with that phone. He don't even know. Once that sun go down, it ain't gonna fucking matter. All right. And then I seen a brother. Matter of fact, I seen somebody in the comments saying, like, whoever sent him out there, knowing that was a sundown town, because apparently this is where it's at. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know in the comments if you know any more context. But from what somebody said in my replies was that this was a sundown town, and whatever job he was sent on to do out there, he shouldn't have been by himself. He should have not had some sort of protection on him outside of himself. And he should have definitely been warned of the area that he was entering into. But Black people, we have to do our own due diligence as well, because I don't know what the company he works for is, or if he's self-employed, whatever the case may be. But we have to do our own due diligence, because a lot of Black people know. You talk to truckers, certain Black people with certain jobs that travel a lot, that have to travel on roads specifically. They know we're not to stop. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not necessarily sure, they might be able to pick up some context clues. Like, I don't know, a bunch of white people sitting around, one of them in a MAGA hat, one of them talking about a lynch tree down the street that's made for people like you. Certain Black people have context clues like, okay, this ain't really the place where justice is going to matter. This ain't really a place where humanity, my humanity, trying to appeal to someone, if someone else's humanity is going to really matter. They have a code that they're going to stick to, and these people are not on my side. And so with that being said, yes, we got to be careful. I feel for the brother. I don't believe what he went through was, you know, appropriate at all. It was definitely anti-Black racism, and I feel for him, and I hope he gets some sort of justice from this. I hope the white boy that's in there specifically, he was directly talking to, has some sort of consequences that come for this. But let's just be real, that might not happen. It might not be likely, especially within the town he's in. His employers might not give a damn just as much as the people around him did. All right. And let me just say this too, because I think at some point towards the end of the video, the brother says, like, there's this white woman coming up to him. I think it's the same white woman that's in the background. Mind you, only one white woman who said, oh yeah, that is racist. He's just as human as us. I don't know if y'all heard him in the background, heard her in the background, but only just that one white woman was the only one who spoke up. And when he says, oh, well, I can call the police, she's like, well, the sheriff's right there, sweetie. Why don't you just tell him what's going on? The sheriff don't give a damn. Honestly, if you call the police in situations like that, they might escalate it and your ass end up dead or in jail, and you ain't even did nothing wrong. They're on code too. If the sheriff was right there, he watched this in action, baby, he's on code. Best believe the rest of the department probably is too.
Who's they?
By 2045, there will be no males left on this planet. Because I know they're watching me right now, and they're mad at me.
Who's they?
Our entire world economy is based off of the politicians and the authorities that give the politicians their accreditation. And those authorities, those universities, are all based, their entire curriculum is based off the Platonic solids. We have a chance to fix, and most people can fix it, but they don't want you to do that because they need people to pass away. Why? Because of a thing called bisphenol, hard plastics, or phthalates. So they started putting it in polyester and all of these clothes. But as a result, what plastic does in those fine particles does in our body, estrogen is made from carbon. Testosterone has carbon attributes to it. Then the male's body produces testosterone and it fills those receptors. For the woman, the female's body, her ovaries produces estrogen, and they go and their body is now imbalanced. Phthalates, what it does, it mimics the estrogen. It mimics the testosterone inside those adrenal receptors. And so now the testes don't produce. And so men become effeminized. Females become masculinized.
And you know what? I'm not even too surprised. I'm going to be real with you. This agenda has been heavy for many years now. You know, I've been talking about this personally, honestly, since the start of my channel. There's a lot of propaganda. There's an agenda, period, by the white supremacists that rule the world to ultimately depopulate. That's the ultimate goal. It's for population control, moreover, depopulation. All right. They want less people because it's easier to control less people. And moreover, less people meaning Black people, because they also know that they are the inferior group. And so they want to find a way to lower our numbers in any way possible. This is one of the strongest vices they have outside of just what he's saying, because I don't think it's a coincidence that you see many, there's this boost, not only just this year, but just within the last couple of years, especially after COVID. You see Shein and Temu and all these other little, especially Asian owned. But just all of these company brands coming up that's mimicking these bigger brands, but they're for way cheaper. You're getting 5 shirts for $30, for $3 out there joint. You know, I don't find that as a coincidence that they're all of a sudden pushing all of these cheap clothes on you that, oh, but they look so good. Oh, but you can get so many for such less, and not telling us what these clothes are made of, what are some of the side effects that can come from them, because best believe those chemicals, these plastics that he's talking about, are in these cheap ass clothes. I've seen another video. I should have found that with somebody else. I believe it was like a scientist or a doctor talking about something similar as well. These chemicals and these plastics within our clothes, like especially when we sweat, it's like literally it's absorbing into our skin, absorbing into our bloodstream. And so, like he said, this is just one of the many, honestly, probably side effects that come from wearing clothes like this. Many of these brands are targeted towards women, but a lot of them now are targeted towards men. And mind you, men's clothes is expensive as hell. Like, women always been able to find a low on clothes, been able to finesse for years now. Honestly, that's always how it's been. But men, on the other hand, have always had to pay a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, to get at least somewhat of the same quality. They've always had to pay, you know what I'm saying, pay a pretty little penny to get something, to wear something, you know what I'm saying, that's up to par for men. Because men don't really get away with wearing cheap clothes like women do. A woman wears something that's like, wears fake jewelry or wears a fake Balenciaga shirt or something like that. They're not seen as the dusty, broke, can't get no money, you know what I'm saying, etc., etc. But if a man does it, all right. And so men always usually have to pay a little bit more. But with some of these brands, Fashion Nova, Shein, Tiffany, a lot of them are starting to target their clothes towards men as well. Like, hey, well, you can get these nice clothes. Maybe they're not designer brand, but this is a nice set. These are nice. And some of the women are promoting men to wear them. And so, like he said, I understand what he says, what he means by, what did he say, 2045, there won't be any men, because not just from the clothing, we're talking about from the water, from the food, from the shit that's in the air. I mean, from the propaganda that's on TV that's targeted specifically our children and our young boys, black boys specifically. Where is the room for actual men to populate, to grow, when there's all these attacks on biological men? There's all these attacks to make women more masculine, to make the women the men. All right. And so we have to be careful of this, especially with your children. You don't want your children to be growing. You don't want to be buying all these clothes. And that's another thing. A lot of these mothers not only getting clothes for themselves, but they're getting a lot of clothes for our children, for their children. And so when you put these, imagine what these chemicals may be doing to our children. How is that going to affect their development of their reproductive organs if they have something mimicking the natural chemicals within their body and altering their chemistry within their body? These are real concerns, all right? So even if you're not going to get it for yourself, you need to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go cheap for me. You know, I'm grown. I'm going to make this decision for me. At least for your children, try to find something that's 100% kind, because we do not need a whole other generation of, we do not need a generation of children to come up who are confused, and that's what they want, all right? We have to be careful of this. That's a very real concern. I hope y'all paying attention to them labels when y'all when you get these clothes. Let me know what your thoughts on the comments below, baby. I appreciate y'all tuning in, rocking with the realists. Y'all some real ones. Other than that, baby, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, get it on the thumbs up, share this mug, all that. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, y'all.
We do not play, but I green. You fuck with the team. Might find your West in the creek. We crossing our T's. We don't never miss a beat.